students, this is Veena, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today we are going to talk about the usage of one-word substitutes in English language. How is that? We are going to use one-word substitutes in the way of our communication. To make it precise, to make it concise, and to make it brief. How is that? We are going to replace these one-word substitutes in terms of making our communication effective. So, try to understand them and also try to use them in the way of your communication such that your communication becomes brief, concise, and effective. It is not that how much you speak, how many lines you speak, how much you write, how many pages you write. It is that how much you speak in detail, making the others understand the content whatever you are talking about. It is about how accurately you are using the words in terms of rendering or conveying the message to the others. So, one-word substitutes help you in making your language effective, brief, and concise. That is, short and sweet. The way of communicating your language through short and sweet words, these one-word substitutes will help you in the long run of good communication process. So, now let us get started here. Now, let us try to understand what is one-word substitution. How is this one-word substitution is useful, and what are the ways and what are the characteristics, what are the rules which we tend to make use of this one-word substitutes. And try and remember the small general rules or the characteristics which will help you in enhancing and developing your communication skills more and more better and effective. Especially when it comes to your professional life, you will not have much time. It is that you are going to convey a long information within 1 or 2 lines. You have to brief the notes to your employees. So, try to understand the relevance, how these one-word substitutes are going to help you and in what way. Am I going to use them in the way of briefing, concising, and also providing accuracy in the way of my communication is the question mark. So, try to understand why we have to learn them and how we are going to use them in the way of effective communication such that your communication process will take less time and also make your conversation accurate and also qualitative. Now, let us see. One-word substitution is the use of one word. In place of a wordy phrase. That is, a phrase which is equipped with 2 or 3 or 4 words in a form of a phrase can be replaced with this one word. Such is the use of one-word substitute in order to make the sentence structure clearer. Phrases may make your conversation misunderstood or they may clumsier. They may not give that clarity. But the use of this one word instead of that phrase which is equipped with 3 or 2 or 4 words, you can understand and also create that accuracy over your conversation and make your message authentic and also qualitative. Now, the meaning with the replacement of the phrase. How is that we are going to use this one-word substitute? With the replacement of the phrase remains identical while the sentence becomes shorter. The major use of this one-word substitute is that the meaning of the sentence will remain the same, but the sentence will become shorter, brief, and concise. That is, instead of making your conversation longer with long sentences, we are trying to replace the phrases with one words such that your sentence become shorter, effective, and also renders the effective and accurate meaning of that proper conversation. One word substitution. Now, what is it? Example, my friend drives me in a car around town. Example, see here, my friend drives me in a car around town. This is the general statement or general sentence which we usually use in our conversation. Now let us try to replace it with one word. Using one word substitution in this sentence would give something like this. My friend chauffeurs me around town. My friend chauffeurs me around town. That is, the meaning of this word is drives me. Isn't it? Now the phrase which is equipped with these two words is being replaced with the word here such that your communicative sentence of that particular instance is not only has been become shorter but also looks more effective and accurate. It adds meaning and also the beauty to your sentences. So, one word substitutes will surely enhance your ability to build up good communication. But only thing what you all have to remember is, whenever you use this one word substitutes, you have to know the right meaning of the word. Without knowing the right meaning, you cannot replace it with some word and say that I have just replaced it and made my sentences shorter. No, try to have that awareness, exposure to different vocabulary which can replace the phrases in your sentences while you are talking and also while you are writing. Both oral, verbal communication as well as your written communication can become more better with the uses of this one word substitutes. Now, to avoid confusions, we have categorized the list of one word substitution into 8 categories. Now, to avoid the confusion and to make you understand the clear note of these one word substitution, they have been categorized into 8 categories. Now, let us see. First one, generic terms. One, next, government or any kind of system, organizations, then venues or spots or group and collection, people or person, then murder or death, profession or research, sound. Under these 8 categories, there are one word substitutes which will help you in the way of building up your sentences and also catering the needs of your communication process and make it look more better and also effective. Now let us try to understand them in detail and also understand their usage in terms of making your communication more effective and also vibrant. Now, one word substitution for generic terms. Now, what are the generic terms? Try to understand with this example. One word substitution and the generic term. What is the generic term? Abdication. Abdication. What does it mean? An act of abdicating or renouncing the throne. That means taking off the throne. That which is occupied by someone. Then what is the term which we are going to use to replace such a big meaning? It is abdication. Next. Almanac. Almanac. What is the meaning of that? It is annual calendar containing important dates and statistical information such as astronomical data and timetables. See, so much of information is being catered with one word, that is almanac. So, this is the way you could replace the one words such that they help you in making your sentences shorter and also render the entire meaning, entire perspective, which is very, very essential in making others understand. Now, one more. Amphibian. Amphibian. Now see, a cold-blooded vertebrate animal that is born in water and breathes with gills. Now, meaning of this is a cold-blooded vertebral animal that is born in water and breathes with gills. That is called a amphibian. So, with this substitute, we are trying to cater the meaning of this entire sentence in our conversation. While explanation, while you're giving a speech, or while you're lecturing the notes to people or the students, or in the way of your project presentations, try to understand the relevance. Try to use accurate words in the way of making the communication not only better, but also it takes and caters the need of the entire meaning of that particular substance. Now, here, one more. Allegory. We have a word called allegory. What is the meaning of it? A story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. See the sentence and the meaning. Such a large meaning to one simple word. If you are using this word, instead of using this entire sentence, that changes the way of rendering, that also saves your time, but also projects the same meaning, whatever is needed at that particular point of time or the instance. So, understand this meaning. First, learn and get awareness over the words which can be replaced as one word substitutes, which can also cater the needs of your communication and make you look unique among the crowd. Don't use the general way of conversation where you cannot look specific. Try to converse in such a way that you look special from others. Always target that. Because in this global market, there are many people, n number of people with so many ideas, so many thoughts, so many innovations. But how is that you're going to project them out? How is that someone is going to recognize you? It is only through the way of your communication. How effective you are in the way of communicating. How good you are in developing the relationship between your people around you. How well built you are with your attitude and your personality in terms of your professional life. How good you are in interacting and mingling with your loved ones or your family members. All these aspects will surely have that light on you and they will make you look special. And one word substitutes will also help in making your conversation much better and also more better in terms of not only making your conversation look beautiful but also different from others. Now, axiom, a statement or proposition on which an abstractly defined structure is based. See the meaning, how long, lengthy sentence, but with the replica of this, it has become shorter. Then, belligerent, a nation or person engaged in a war or conflict as recognized by international law. Then, biopsy, an examination of tissue removed from a living body to discover the presence, cause or extent of a disease. So, we generally do biopsy to know the extent of the disease. So, with this one word, we are replacing such a big sentence which cater the need or the purpose of that particular situation or the conversation. So, in this way, the one word substitutes will surely help you in making your sentences brief and also meaningful and also sensible. This sentences, long use of sentences in a lengthy way may make your conversation clumsier. It may be boring to others to listen to this general talk. So try to make yourself, mold yourself in such a way you look different from others. Don't be that same person, that common person, because we have many common people. Don't be one among them. Try to understand the difference and try to make use of language which make you stand different from others rather than sticking to one common purpose or one common platform. So one word substitute will surely help you in making you look different and also unique in the way of your conversations. Now, one word substitution for governments or systems. What could be them? Now let us see. Anarchy. Anarchy. This word can be replaced for the sentence a state of disorder due to absence of non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. So here the system which is having non-recognition and the disorder of authority could be replaced as anarchy. It's an anarchical government. He is an anarchist. That means a man who is completely tyrant and disorder and who is very selfish in nature, not thinking about people. So on all these grounds, you can use this word anarchy. Next, aristocracy. Aristocracy, a form of government in which power is held by the nobility. A power of government in which power is held by the nobility. Next, autocracy, a system of government by one person with absolute power. Next, autonomy, a self-governing body or self-governing country or religion. All these words, not just these words, I'm just giving you some examples. There are many words. With the exposure, with the awareness, with rigorous practice, you can use all these words and use in terms of your communication. It's not just for the sake of your examination point of view you are learning them. Try to impart it in the way of your communication. Try to utilize them in the way of your communication such that it will help you in regard of not only making your work easier and also look qualitative, but also help you in developing good content and unique content from the other people. Here, some more. Bureaucracy. Here we have bureaucracy. What is the meaning of this word bureaucracy? A system of government in which most of the important decisions are taken by state officials rather than by elected representatives. Then, democracy. Which kind of government India follow? We are democratic country. What is mean by that? A system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of the state, typically through elected representatives. We have right to vote where we elect our own governing bodies. Isn't it? That kind of country is called democratic country and it is termed as democracy. Next, gerontocracy. Gerontocracy, that is a state, society or group governed by old people. Next, kakistocracy, a state or country run by the worst, least qualified or most unsurplus citizens. That is the country which is ruled by the most ineligible people. The people who does not know any culture or they are not illiterate or those who are not eligible to be the leaders are ruling the country. Okay, so these are all the terms which can be used in the way of governments or the systems and you can replace these words with this kind of one word substitutes to cater the need of your conversation and help in the way of developing your conversations. Then comes one word substitution for venue or spots. Now, what are the one word substitution for venues or spots? Now, list of one word substitutions. Venue or spot, that is archives, a collection of historical documents or records providing information about a place, institution or group of people. It can be replaced with one word, archive. Next, aviary, a large cage, building or enclosure to keep birds. This is the word which can be replaced with aviary. Next, abattoir. Abattoir, that means a building where animals are butchered. That means they were made butchered. Next, apiary, a place where bees are kept, a collection of beehives. Next, aquarium, a building containing tanks of live fish of different species. Then arena, a place of scene of activity, debate or conflict. Then arsenal, a collection of weapons and military equipment. Then comes asylum, an institution for the care of people who are mentally ill. Next comes burrow, a hole or tunnel dug by a small animal, especially a rabbit, as a dwelling. See the way, instead of using this entire sentence, instead of making long lengthy sentences, we are trying to replace them with one word substitutes such that they constitute the meaning and the real accurate essence to that particular structure of the sentence. Every time it is not possible to use such a long sentence which give brief description about that particular place or animal or any being. It is important to understand when, where, how we are going to use these one word substitutes such that they cater the need not only of the communication but also it will not make others bored. If you go on talk using phrases by phrases, giving long description of elements, it will make things clumsier. It will make people tedious. They will not like to listen to you. They will not like to stand by you. Isn't it? They feel that he talked too much, dear. Why do we have to listen to him? Isn't it? So, try to make your conversations shorter, but be brief, concise, effective and accurate while presenting your information. So, see that it completely fetches the need of your conversation along with making the sentences simpler and also making it appealing towards others. This is the character of your one word substitutes. They replace not only the phrases but also see that conversation look more beautiful and also attractive and authentic. Next, one word substitution for group or collection. What are those one word substitution which we are going for groups or collections? Now, one word substitution for battery. Battery. We usually listen to this word. What does that mean? A group of guns or missile launchers operated together at one place. Next, bale. Bale. A large bundle bound for storage or transport. Next, bevy. A large gathering of people of a particular type. Next, bouquet, an arrangement of flowers that is usually given as a present. See the beauty, how these phrases can be replaced into one word. Next, a family of young animals can be replaced with brood. Next, catch, catch, a group of things that have been hidden in a secret place. Then, caravan, a group of people typically with vehicles or animals traveling together. Then caucus, a closed political meeting. Next, clique, an exclusive circle of people with a common purpose. And I would like to bring to your notice that sometimes these words may not the same meaning as here it is mentioned. Depends on the situation, depends on the criteria of that particular situation. We can use these same words in the way of generating the example or in the way of making the additional moment or emotional to that situation in the way of rendering the meaning. We can use these words. Next, one word substitution list for a person or people. Here, agnostic. Agnostic, one who is not sure about God's existence. Whom we called agnostic? One who is not sure about God's existence. Then, arsonist, a person who deliberately sets fire to a building. Next, amateur, one who does a thing for pleasure and not as a profession. The one who for pleasure does the thing rather than it as a profession. Next, ambidextrous, one who can use either hand with ease. That means both the hands he can use it with ease. Auditor, one who makes an official examination of accounts. Next, one word substitution for death or murder. Now see, cortege, a solemn procession, specially for a funeral. A solemn procession, specially for a funeral. Then, elegy. Elegy, a poem of serious reflection, typically a lament for the dead. A poem of serious reflection, typically a lament for the dead. We usually come across poems which are called as elegies, isn't it? It is very, very good to read such poems. Try to understand the elegance and the texture and the syntax among the poems. Mostly your language can be added color and that beauty if you are a good reader of the poems. Once you start reading these poems, that flowery language, that beautiful language, which are one word substitutes so much of meaning. Mostly the poets use this one word substitutes to render such a big phrase, to make them understand and describe such a huge annotation. They use this one word substitutions. So in that way, in that case, they are useful and also they render that accuracy and the standard to build up that poem very effective and also communicate it to the readers. Then epitaph, a phrase or form of words written in memory of a person who has died. Next, filicide, killing of one's son or daughter. Next, a room or building in which dead bodies are kept. What is it called? Mortuary. Next, obituary, a new article that reports the recent death of a person. Next, parasite, killing of a parent or other near relative. Next, patricide, killing of one's father. Postmortem, an examination of a dead body to determine the cause of death. These are the terms. There are many, many more terms. There are many, many one-word substitutes which you can choose and build your vocabulary. It's not that I'm asking you to take up some words from only this video or only from this description. No. These are just examples of these 8 categories of one-word substitutes. Try to generate, understand and create that awareness among yourself. Build your vocabulary with that one-word substitutes which can be used at times whenever it is needed to you to build up your articles, your journals, your dissertation works, your thesis, whatever it may be. These all fetch lot of grip and command over the language, and also portray your confidence over the things that happen in the way of the communication. So try to acknowledge the usage, try to acknowledge the relevance of these one word substitute, and converse with the good command over the communication. Portray your personality through your communication. Have eye-to-eye contact. Try to possess and build up your vocabulary with new terms, such that you look different, your confidence is portrayed, and your self-esteem will also grow with the usage of all these things in your languages. Now, list of one-word substitutes for professional or research. Let us see now. Alchemy. What is the meaning of alchemy? The medical forerunner of chemistry. Next, anchor. A person who presents a radio television program. Next, anthropologist. One who studies the evolution of mankind. Astronaut, a person who is trained to travel in a spacecraft. Do we say such long sentence to describe an astronaut? Did we ever say he is a person who is trained to travel in a spacecraft? No, we'll just say he's an astronaut. It means the same. The way you use, the way you describe, the way you place yourself to make others understand the right meaning with the usage of right word will make your communication better, and also make that command over the communication. It is the communication which will build your professional and also the personal life to successful peaks. Without the possible communication, how much ever talented you are, how much ever intellectual you are, and if you could not place it in front of others, then it will be a disaster and it will be a failure. So try to make your communication better. Give that importance to the communication. In this globalized world where there is no place for slow learners, where you have to be very fast paced, where you have to catch up with the new innovations and the technicians, you must be equipped with that good communication skill to grasp the attention of the others, such that others seek your presence. Others understand the relevance of your presence. Though it is short, it must be effective. And that is possible with the integration of all these one-word substitutes in your communication. Here, a person who draws or produces maps. What is he called? Cartographer. Next, calligrapher, a person who writes beautiful writing. Next, choreographer, a person who composes the sequence of steps and moves for a performance of dance. Then, chauffeur, a person employed to drive a private or hired car. Next, compere, a person who introduces the performers or contestants in a variety show. Then, one word substitution for sounds. Now, let us see some one word substitutions for sounds. Acoustics, a branch of physics concerned with the properties of sound. Next, bellow, the sound of alligators. Bell, sound of deers. Caw, sound of crows. Cackle, the sound of geese. Next, click, sound of dolphins. Croak, the sound of frogs. Creak, the sound of crickets. Gibber, the sound of monkeys. Grunt, the sound of camels. See the way, the effect that is created with this one word substitutes. It is always important to know the proper meaning, understand the relevance, understand the accuracy of the words which you speak in terms of your vocabulary. These words will surely make your communication look more better and also look more effective and place you in the right position of your professional growth and also your personal growth. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.